Okay, hello guys, Steve here again. So today I get so excited and just returned to my house. So let's continue reading this book. In chapter 3, psychology is more important than grammar and vocabularies. Most people have suffered with English for so long, they worry there is no solution. Train us by schools to be passive, fear mistakes, and suffer just one right answer. Most English learners are stressed and frustrated. Some feel nearly hopeless. They have they have spent years in English classrooms. They have spent years memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary lists. They have spent years studying for exams such as the TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC. Despite all of this work and effort, most English learners are frustrated. Many struggle with even the simplest conversations. Many feel nervous anytime they must speak English. They have memorized countless grammar rules, yet even simple conversations feel difficult. Likewise, despite years of study, most learners still cannot understand American TV or movie. After so many years of traditional learning, students are confused when they try to speak. They constantly think about grammar and translations. First, they think of the sentence on in the own language, and then they translate into English, and then they think about the grammar, and finally they speak. When they listen, they go through a similar process. They hear the English and translate into the own language, think of a response in their own language, translate the response into English, and then think about the grammar to be sure that their response is correct. No wonder their speech is so low and unnatural. No wonder English feels so stressful and difficult. Real conversations are fast, and this is nearly impossible to do all of this thinking fast enough, especially when talking to a native speaker. If you think about translations and grammar during a real conversation, you will quickly become lost. Instead of listening carefully to the other person, you will be translating your own responses and trying to remember grammar. Your speech is will be hesitant. Often, the other person will become frustrated by your lack of understanding. Of course, if you see the other person is losing patience, you will usually become even more nervous. Is a terrible downward spiral. That's most English learners know too well. There is a solution. There is a way to escape the hidden curriculum. There is a road to English fluency, and you can travel on it. You can speak English powerfully. You can speak English clearly, naturally, and effortlessly. This solution, however, will require you to completely change your belief about education and completely change the way you learn English. I call the solution the effortless English system, and it had two parts, the psychology and the methods. Most schools, most teachers, and most learners focus only on method. In other words, they are solely focused on the pieces of the English language, vocabulary and grammar. As we learned in the last chapter, schools primarily use grammar translation methods with some communication activities added. While schools are focused just on the methods, they completely ignore the first part of the efforts in the system, the psychology. Yet, psychology is probably the most important element for success with English speaking. When you think of your own English speaking, you will realize that your nervousness, lack of confidence, and frustration are major problems. How do you change these? Without an effective psychological system, you will struggle. You will struggle to find success with even the best language teaching method. Let's use the story to understand these two important parts of the efforts in the system. Imagine that you are on the road. You are driving on the road to English fluency. What kind of car would you want? Let's say all you have to try is an old slow car that often breaks down. In addition, if you this old car would give gasoline, what kind of trip will you have? How fast will you go on this road to fluency? Most likely, your trip will be slow and frustrating. with frequent breakdowns. In fact, you probably will not reach your destination. Now, you could put some high quality gas on that old car, but even then, it will likely take you a long time to reach your destination. Better gas will have a little, but the trip is still likely to be slow and frustrating. Now, imagine instead of you will be driving a Formula One racing car on this road to fluency. This car is made for speed and performance. Clearly, it will go faster than the old slow car. But what if you fill it up with just low quality fuel? That would be likely be problems. Racing cars need racing fuel, they will not perform well. Obviously, the best situation would be to put the high quality racing fuel into your Formula One racing car. With this car and this fuel, your trips on the road to fluency will be fast and exciting. This is how learning English works. If you've been studying English for a while, you know by now that there are all sorts of systems, traditional classes at universities, private lessons from language schools, online packaged software courses, immersion programs that push you in the country where they speak the language you are studying. In other words, you have a lot of different cars to choose from. Some may be better than others, some may be faster. But even the greatest of these methods, the Ferrari of language teaching, if you will, needs the fuel to make it work. A method, after all, is only an engine. And if you don't give an engine the proper fuel, even the great one won't work the way you like it to. To succeed, you need to both quality fuel and a powerful engine. The right engine plus the right fuel equals success. Obviously, I believe the right engines would be the efforts in the system. What is the fuel? The fuel is your psychology. It is the beliefs, emotions, goals that power your learning. Your fuel is your motivation, your confidence, your energy, your enthusiasms. Your fuel, success psychology. If your psychology is weak, even the best methods will fail. In other words, if you have connected stresses, fear, nervousness, and doubt to the process of speaking English, you will never you will have a lot of problems. Unfortunately, this is exactly what happens in most schools. The tests, the error corrections, and the boring and ineffective methods used in schools combine to create a powerful negative emotions in most students. Even if you are using my effortless English methods, you must have a strong psychology unless to bring the proper emotion energy to the language learning process. It won't be enough. The effortless English system is based upon a success psychology system known as neuro linguistics programming NLP, developed by Richard Bandler and John Rinder. NLP focuses on the psychology of success, high performance, and motivation. Rather than study mentally ill people, Bandler and Rinder researches the psychology of the most successful people in the world. They then create a psychological a psychological system designed to help individuals achieve the highest levels of success and happiness in their life. What Bandler and Rinder found was that happy, motivated, and energetic people actually learn better, they perform better, they achieve more success in all aspects of their lives. The opposite is also true. If you are feeling bored, stressed, sad, frustrated, or even tired, your brain actually functions more slowly to has a harder time remembering information. Clearly, it is important to connect positive rather than negative emotion to the process of learning and speaking English. The process of connecting emotions to an experience or the process called anchorings. Anchorings can be positive or negative. For example, imagine that you are listening to a specific song, and when you are feeling extremely happy, if the emotion is strong enough, a connection will be formed between the song and the emotion. And if you're feeling very happy when you hear the song again, that connection will become stronger. Eventually, you will create a very strong connection between the song and the feeling of happiness. At that point, anytime you hear the song, and you will automatically find yourself feeling happy. That is what happens with your favorite songs, and that is great. However, this process also works with negative emotions. Imagine that you have a stressful experiences with in English class. Maybe the teacher corrects one of your errors, and when you are speaking and you feel embarrassed. Now imagine that you continue to have a series of negative emotion experience in English classes. You frequently feel bored, nervous, and stressed while learning using English. Eventually, a strong connection forms between English and negative emotions. This is a negative anchor. Once this is formed, whenever you try to use English, you will automatically begin to feel more nervous and stressed. This is why many advanced English learners should have so much trouble when trying to speak. Sadly, most learners now have powerful negative anchors connected to their English speaking. The good news is that negative anchors can be broken and reprogrammed. This, in fact, in the first step towards speaking English powerfully. Instead of feeling nervous, imagine that you are suddenly and automatically feel powerful every time you spoke English. What if you automatically feel more excited every time you learn English? The chain along would improve your speaking through the power of anchoring. You can indeed connect these powerful emotions to English. The secret to breaking negative anchors and creating a new positive one is intensity. The more powerful an emotion is felt while using English, the faster and deeper the connection. So, to create a strong positive anchor for English requires a few steps. First, you must create very intense positive emotion. Most people believe that emotions are something that happen to them, but in fact, we create our emotions. It is possible to your emotions and to create them consciously. For example, if you wishes to feel to feel tired and sad right now, what would you do? Let's start with your body. How would you use your body to create tired and sad feelings? Would you pull your shoulder back, hunch them forward? Would you look up and down? Would you smile at frowns? In fact, by simply changing your body, you would change your feelings to make yourself even feel even worse. You would think about sad and negative things. Perhaps you would think about a big problem you have, or about a big regret. And what about your voice? You could murmur, cry, or whines. That would make you feel even worse. After doing all above for a few minutes, you would generally begin to feel sadder and more tired. This is how consciously can create negative emotion. Of course, this process works for positive emotions too, and that is good news. How 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 would you make yourself feel more excited right now? Again, start with the body. Pull your shoulders back and push your chest up and out. Bring your head up and look straight ahead. Put a big smile on your face and hold it. Next, change your thoughts. Think about something great in your life. Think about the biggest success you have ever had. Think about your future success. Speaking is powerfully, it's my bigger. First, you are just pretending, but eventually you will feel stronger and happier. That is because your emotion change when your body change. It's a simple technique. Of course, you can feel even better by using your body even more instead of just standing and smiling. Raise your arms over your head and then jumps in the end like you're celebrating a big victory, and use your voice, shouts and just loudly, and you jump and smile and think of wonderful things. Go crazy. This is called a peak emotional state, an intensity, an intensely powerful positive emotion. The final step, of course, is to connect. this great feeling to English. So still feeling great, immediately start listening to an easy English audio. You are listening, continue to smile, move your body in a strong, positive way. Each day, you, before just before you begin learning English, you will create this peak emotion. As you repeat this process every day, these strong positive feelings will become connected to English. Eventually, every time you hear or use English, you will automatically feel energized, positive, and excited. You have broken the old negative anchor and replaced this with a new positive one. And there is there is more good news. Research has shown that people who are excited and energized while learning actually learn more quickly. They remember more and remember longer. They perform better. In fact, you will speak English better right now simply by being in a peak emotional state. Creating this positive anchor to English, therefore, is the first step to faster travel on the road to fluency. Why happy students learn more. Dr. Stephen Krashen, a linguist at University of Southern California and one of the top researchers on second language learning, believes negative emotions act as a filter, reducing the amount of new language inputs you are able to learn. As a result, students who feel bad, anxious, or worried remember less vocabularies and don't speak it as well. Essentially, they learn more slowly. The best way to counter this question says is by keeping students interested, reducing stress in classrooms, and boosting learners' self-confidence. In one study, researchers found that when they compare the performance of students who were energized and enjoying themselves in class with the performance of students who were just being truthless in materials, the energized students did better. The same were true when they tested these students again at 3 months and later at 6 months. I see the same thing in our efforts in this community. When you look at our more successful members, you will find a common factor. They are all feel extremely enthusiastic. They have a lot of energy. They are very, very positive. They have very strong positive emotions. When you use peak emotions, you can speak better right now. Therefore, each and every time you study English, create a peak emotion state. Change your body and your mental focus in order to create excitement and positive energy. Build a strong anchor, a strong connection between English and your most positive emotions. Heal your inner trauma. Okay, guys, I want to finish here. So after reading this chapter, I can totally understand everything on this chapter, and I just get so excited about this. So, um, I'm gonna continue to do it from tomorrow, and I'm gonna finish this book soon, maybe in another 20 days for sure. And it's kind of really easy for me to learn because that time I have a lot of free time. I cannot be into Korean and doing the business with my boss. But now I just get a statified job. It's just a normal job here. And I'm gonna focus on the job. If that's the good job, willing to be stay here. And if that's not good, I'm willing to go there. And so happy to read this chapter and help you guys listen to the video. Gonna success with your English learning too. So appreciate about that. If you can um contact and talk with me just in person. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop here.